everyone, we're here in Boulevard, just little relax.
Hey everyone, we're at the Boulevard. It's a cloudy day. It's been raining a lot lately. Been hard to get out. So today we decided to go out and do this video. Today's subject's going to be my regrets. Do I have any regrets? One, I don't have any regrets for living in the Philippines. I've been in Dumaguete now over a year, and I do not regret my decision to live here, to move here, to have my life here in the city of Dumaguete. I've been lucky enough to meet Janet. And Janet, do you have any regrets during this past year?
No.
No?
I don't have.
Has it been a good year for you?
For now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. It's good.
It's good.
Being with you.
Being with me. We've done our 1-year anniversary, which was June 5th. We're already on our 13th month. Today we finished up a lot of the paperwork. We have our seminar class. Is that how you say it? Seminar?
Yeah, seminar.
Seminar class next Tuesday, which is a 4-hour class that we sit in at the City Hall. And after that, we'll be able to process the final paperwork for getting married. So that part of it, there are no regrets. Some regrets I do have more relate to preparing to come to the Philippines. Things that I didn't take care of that I should have or I couldn't have because of the COVID and the pandemic at the time. My biggest regret is not getting all the medical tests that I could get. Not being able to go to the hospital and get a colonoscopy. You know, it's 69 now. The last one I had was at 55, so I was well due for one. Now I'm going to have to take my chance in a Philippine hospital and have one taken. Also, I regret not doing all the tests that I had done earlier last month. You know, getting the full physical with the chest x-ray, the ultrasound of my abdomen, all the blood work. I didn't get that done in the U.S. prior to coming here because of COVID. You couldn't get in to see these doctors. You know, it was just a different world then. So if you're in the States now, take advantage of getting all these medical tests done that you can. When you come here in the Philippines, so you know what's wrong with you if you have any problems at all. You know the risk that you're taking coming here. That's one of my big regrets, not being able to get all this medical work done. My other regret was I didn't know how to drive a motorcycle when I came here. I didn't have a motorcycle endorsement on my driver's license. I bought a motorbike here, and by the grace of God, I met Janet, and she taught me how to ride.
Yeah.
Was I a good rider at first?
Not yet in the first. It's shaky.
I was very shaky. She had patience, and she showed me, and we got the job done. But coming here during my stay in Bohol, because I didn't know how to ride a motorbike, I was scared to buy one, and I was even scared to rent one. So my transportation was limited. So make sure you know how to ride one before you get here. If you have the opportunity to get that motorcycle endorsement on your license, it's going to save you a lot of time and headache when you go to transfer your license or to get a Philippine license. I'm not going to say you transfer. You show them your U.S. license. They duplicate all the endorsements that you have on your U.S. license onto your Philippine license. So if you have a motorcycle endorsement or an endorsement to drive commercial vehicles, it's going to be transferred onto your Philippine license. So knowing how to ride a motorbike, a scooter, and having that endorsement would have been more help to me than not having it. So that's one other thing I regret not doing. My other regret is not bringing all my paperwork with me. I didn't go to the courthouse and get my final divorce decree because I said I'm never going to get married. I don't need this. Well, here I am a year and a half later, and I needed it. So I had to send for it, and it's time consuming and it's costly. You know, it costs just under $200 US to get the document sent from the Nevada courthouse to my mailbox, my virtual mailbox, and then to have them forward it FedEx to my home here in Dumaguete. So bring all your documents. It does no good sitting in the bottom of a shoebox, even if you don't think you need it. Any kind of documents you have, your birth certificate, your driver's license, passport, make sure they're all up to date, and bring as many documents as you can. Even the divorce document. You need to have your divorce papers if you ever do decide to marry a Filipina. And they asked for it, right?
Yes. We need that one.
They asked for that. We came from the attorney's office today, and you know they had the divorce papers and a few other documents I needed, and we got that all done. And our friend Mary is helping us with the whole process. She's been a godsend doing this for us. She took us to City Hall to fill out the paperwork, and also took all the information to the lawyer. So we didn't have to sit around a long time. They had it all prepared. We just had to go in there and pay for it and sign it. Other things that I regret doing. Sort of regret not researching more the cost of living here in Dumaguete, the cost of living in the Philippines. When we were back home, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I learned everything from YouTube, just like you're doing right now. And a lot of these guys were showing the house they lived in or the apartment they had, and it was a lot less costly than what it is now. And I think a lot of these YouTubes I was watching were outdated. They could have been 2 years old, 3 years old, and they're showing things that are old and not up to date cost-wise. I remember watching Ned's channel, Philippine Dreams, and he lived in the pink house. And he roughly was paying $200 US a month for that. And I thought I could come here and find a nice house for $200 US. That is not the case. Here in Dumaguete, I'm going to say you need at least $300 to find a nicely furnished place. You can find places cheaper. You can find nice places cheaper. But on the average, they're going to cost a lot more. And the price of homes here, the construction cost keeps increasing, the cost of goods keeps increasing, and the cost of food. So when you're watching any video or blogger, check the date of the video. If it's 3-4 years old, it's outdated. Try and stay more up to date with the budgets, more up to date with the cost of rentals and the cost of living here in the Philippines, or whatever country you choose. Post-pandemic, the prices have gone way up. Inflation has been unbelievable here. I've watched products go up a great deal in a short period of time. I'll take eggs, for instance, in Hypermart. When we first started shopping, they were like 98 pesos for a dozen. Last time we went, I believe they were like 112.5. So that's a good, almost 15% increase in 5 months on just eggs. So everything is going up.
Yeah.
The people here are starting to make a little bit more money, especially in Dumaguete. It's turning into more of a middle-class neighborhood. You go into these restaurants and you would think, how can a poor Filipino family making 500 pesos a day afford to eat here? They're making more than that in their jobs, and they're eating out. They're in these restaurants, and there's more Filipinos than there are foreigners in these restaurants and these coffee shops. Now, I'm not talking about the ones here on the boulevard, the tourist spots, but a little bit off the beaten path, there just seems to be more. We were at Henry's Resort yesterday.
Yes.
And it was, we were there with a couple friends, but in the restaurants eating and the people walking around, they were all Filipinos.
Yeah.
And that's in that North Point area. And you go into the restaurants there, the vast majority, by far, are Filipinos. So the cost of living here is going up a little bit, but the income, and this is a middle-class area, and a lot of wealthy people from Manila, they come here for the vacation. They have vacation homes here and second homes here. So research the cost of goods, the cost of living a little bit better. As for the first place I chose to live in Panglao, I'm glad I did that. I have no regrets about that. I was able to walk the beach and relax, decompress, leave that pressure from, my home country behind, able to just totally relax, totally become peaceful with myself and my situation. It's a good thing to do when you first get here. Just get used to the weather, get used to the environment, the time change, just the simpler way of life, the slower pace way of life. Here in Dumaguete, just like everything else, we went to this attorney's office and there's like 8 people in there waiting for their documents. Everybody just sits quietly and waits for everything to happen. Everybody is in a slow pace, no rush, relaxed atmosphere. I'm sure they're in a hurry to get their documents and go on with their day, but no one shows that. You don't see the anger of waiting too long, or if they took someone ahead of you, if you're already there. It's just the way they do business, and it's just the way it is. So when you get here, get used to everything. Get used to the slow pace. Get used to not in stock. Get used to unavailable. Get used to all these things. Everybody preaches you need patience. I don't have a lot of patience, but I've learned more patience since I've been here. So picking the first place you live to be a relaxed, comfortable area is a good thing. If you want to live in the hustle bustle of a big city, Cebu City, Manila, that's fine too. But you're always going to be on the go. If you pick a nice resort area, a nice beach area, a nice mountain resort, and just relax. If it's just 1 week or 2 weeks, just relax and decompress. Then go about finding your future home where you want to live, if you haven't already chosen a place. And if you choose Dumaguete, you can decompress here. You can relax here. But you have to know how you're going to get around the city. Decide before you get here how you're going to use transportation. Research, are you going to use public transportation? Research, are you going to use a motorbike? You're going to buy a car. And if you're going to travel from island to island to island, do you really want to buy something? Have these things set up ahead of time in your own head, what you want to do and where you want to go. Guys, take a moment to like and subscribe and leave me a comment. If you're here in the Philippines, is there anything you regret doing or not doing before you came here or once you got here? Do you regret being in the Philippines? And the other thing you have to do when you get here, you have to be, I'm going to call it nimble on your feet, able to change your plans and change your directions. Say you decide you want to, you start off in Cebu City and you say, I'm going to live here for a couple months and then I'm going to head down to Davao. Well, what if you meet somebody? What if you meet somebody that you really like and they live, they live in Cebu City or they live in Batangas or they live somewhere else? You have to be able to change your plans and how to get there, where you want to live, what you want to do. Things change all the time. The best laid plans are usually, they go to shit here. You have to have plan A, B, and C, but you have to be nimble on your feet. You need to be able to change direction as your life changes, as you get used to the Philippines and who you like to be with. And I'm going to give one piece of advice here this is the one thing I did do well. I did make sure I knew how to transfer money here. I transferred money to myself before I got on the plane. So when I got into Bohol, I was able to go to
Palawan or Emluwiller. Emluwiller.
I was able to transfer money to myself. And I went into the Palawan pawn shop, I think that's what it's called, to pick up my money. And right away, I was satisfied that I did it right and I was able to get my money. I've already met guys who don't have any way to send money here. They thought once they got here, they can just contact their bank and go to World Remitly. There's a ton of things you have to do ahead of time. You have to download an ID. You have to download a picture. You have to make a profile. Yeah. These people have to know who you are before you're transferring money around the world. So set up these accounts. Get the apps. Get a Western Union app, World Remit app, a Remitly app. a Zoom, whatever Money Express, money transfer company you want to use, have it set up. Having money is a great thing, but you need to have access to it.
Yes.
And the one thing I do regret doing is I bought too much stuff. I bought a lot of vitamins to come here because all the bloggers were saying vitamins are so expensive. And when I ordered them from Amazon, I never opened up the case. Most of them are going to expire in 2 or 3 months. So why buy a 2-year supply if they're going to expire shortly? Same thing with aspirins. You know, I bought the Bayer aspirin. My doctor recommended I use the baby aspirin 1 a day. So I bought a 2-year supply, not knowing you could get it here. Also, I bought those silly tote bags. You know, all the bloggers were advertising these tote bags. I'll show you one here. You have it and you got to wrap it around a pole or a pipe in your apartment or your house so nobody can steal it. Well, first of all, if you put all your belongings in it and a thief does come into your house, that's a red flag. That's where all the good stuff is in this bag. And there aren't steel pipes in the plumbing. They're either the clay pipes or the PVC pipes, and people will cut that to get your bags. So I found those 2 bags that I bought just a waste of my money. It might be perfect for you. It might be good in South America. It might be great in Europe. But for me here in the Philippines, I've lived in 4 different places, and there was nowhere in any of these places for me to hook the bag to, nothing for me to wrap it around to be safe. So they've just been sitting in my closet, unused. And if anybody's in DUMAGUETE wants to have one of these tote bags, I got them for sale, half price. But don't waste your money buying a whole bunch of stuff. And now that Amazon delivers to the Philippines, you don't need to bring, you know, all these clothes and all these shoes. Bring what you wear, and if you need something, you order it. You'll get it within 30 days. It's so convenient now. There's no reason you're a big guy, you know, I know they said before, if you're a big guy, you wear extra large, bring extra clothes with you. Well, now you can order it online. They'll get delivered to you. And we noticed in the stores in Ayala, they have big sizes. It's not impossible to get. In the smaller communities, in the province, yes, harder to get. But in the big cities or through Amazon, they're easy to get. I regret giving Janet all the responsibility to get all the camera stuff here because she forgets. No.
Because I have something to think. Oh, guys.
I'm cutting that out.
Out of my mind.
So, pack light, be nimble on your feet, bring your electronics, your laptop, bring an extra laptop if you can afford it, a couple phones that are unlocked, bring those. But as for bringing a bunch of toothpaste and razor blades and vitamins, you get all that here. You can get everything here in the Philippines, and if they don't have it, you can order it on Amazon. If you send yourself a ballot buy-on box full of kitchen supplies, plates, dishes, you know, frying pans, pots, if you move, you have to take those with you. If you're staying on that island, that's great. If you already have a girlfriend or a wife here, that's great. But if you're a single guy and you're just coming here, and then you think you're going to stay in this one spot a month and then move on, you don't want to be weighed down with a whole bunch of stuff. So sell your stuff. Come over here light. Everybody's different. Everybody has a different agenda. If you're here with a girl and you're starting a family and you're going to stay where she's at, yeah, send a whole bunch of stuff here. But if you're going to travel around the islands, travel light. Backpack and one bag. Be able to move around easily. Don't make moving around a hardship if your plans are to have a good time and travel around the Philippines.
And don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget to click the buttons bell.
Notification bell.
The notifications bell, guys. And also, please subscribe to my channel, DUMAGUETE Rental.
Selfless promotion. Always promoting herself. Bye.
Bye, guys. Love you.